By selecting the object in shadow and prompting for what should remain behind, we know we can remove objects from our images using the Midjourney Editor. Or we can highlight an area and describe what we want to see to add an object in. Or if you select an object but leave the shadow behind, you can then replace the object pretty easily. Or you can select various areas of the image and combine those two methods to completely redecorate a room piece by piece. However, it's not perfect and you may need to readjust your prompt or rerun if you're not getting the results you want. Or even adjust the object further to get a better result. Or by coming down to editor actions, we can open any images made in Midjourney in the new external image editor, and then we can use retexture to completely reimagine the room in various different ways. This is a very powerful way to make simple, drastic changes and see variations with a simple text prompt. And if we go directly into the external editor, we can upload a photo of a person, use Smart Select to select them. We can then erase the background and then type up a simple prompt of what we'd like to see so that we can take a real life photo of a person and change that background. You can also extend the background of an image by coming up to Move and Resize and choosing a new aspect ratio, or even moving the handles around the image and resizing the image itself. Then simply add your prompt and we've been able to seamlessly expand the background of that image. If you drag in a drawing you've made, head to retexture, and then give it a prompt describing what you want to see, like a cinematic Unreal Engine render of a man with spiky hair wearing headphones, hit submit, and you can convert that sketch into a completely rendered image. Now you can throw black and white drawings you put up here, but it's really any image at all, even basic 3D renders, anything that even has color in it also turns out exceptionally well, as long as you describe the style you're after, the subject, and also if you want particular colors, you will have to try to prompt for those also. But this also means the reverse. You can upload a photo and type a prompt to convert it into a sketch or art, and basically restyle and turn any photo into a piece of artwork. You can also take old images like this one I made using Midjourney version 5, add a simple prompt, highlight the area you want to fix like the face, and you can fix that face. You can also fix hands in the same way by highlighting that hand, and then you can even prompt for hands, and it may take a few attempts, but you can fix the hands of your old images. If you have a consistent character you'd like to use, simply head over here to download the image, go back to the editor, and remove the part of a character you want to replace. Type in a simple prompt, describing the scene, and we're going to switch to version 6.1 to make sure we can use character reference, as Omni reference currently doesn't work in the editor. I drag in the image we downloaded into character reference, and it has appeared here. Add a character weight by adding --CW. I'll go with 100, which is maximum. Submit that edit, and we've been able to replace one of the characters in our image with a consistent AI character. This exact same process can be done with a real photo simply by masking out a blank area of the image and then inserting your character into the scene there also, which makes the process repeatable, meaning if you want multiple consistent characters in a scene, follow that process again, but this time using a different character. So now we've added multiple consistent characters into a real photograph. Now, because of the added layer system in the editor, if I drag and drop transparent PNGs in, I can resize them and place them where I want. And because they're PNGs, they're basically already cut out, but they may not blend in with the scene. And because there's a layer system, I can reorder them. So if I want these rocks behind the car, I can move them below. But also, if I want things to blend in just a bit better, what I want to do is create a bit of space around the objects and also leave some space for shadows. So I click on the layer I want to start working on. So the bottom layer, I go to Paint, Erase, bring that brush size down, create some space around these objects so that the Midjourney editor can blend them in. Again, making way for the shadows. But also, if I want some grass to come over these wheels, I can now click on layer 2, remove some elements of the wheels. Same with the man, maybe remove his feet so that they blend in a bit more to the ground. And what I can essentially do is Photobash. So I simply type in a prompt describing the scene, I submit that edit, and I've been able to do some basic AI photo bashing. But also, if you're looking for some prompt formulas to create art with, then check out my 25 free AI art prompt formulas using the link in the description below. I can also take an image of someone who is bald, and by selecting the area around the head and into the head a little bit, I can come up and describe what type of hairstyle I'd like them to see. And I was able to give Captain Picard a very classy looking mullet. Although he's looking very serious here, so another thing I can do is select the area around his mouth and around his cheeks, and then again, add in what I want to see. In this case, I want him to smile, and now we've cheered him up a little bit since his hair has grown back. And we can do a similar process by selecting around his mouth, chin, and cheeks, and give him a nice thick beard. And in opposite fashion, I can take someone else who has rather long hair, select all the hair that I can see on and around their head, including just above the eyebrows, and I can simply prompt for a bald person, and I can make that character look bald. But if I also don't like the clothes they're wearing, I can select the entire clothing area and a bit of space around it, and I can change both his build and his clothing type, which I actually recommend putting both in there if you really want to nail the look that you're after. You can also edit faces by selecting, say, the pupils of someone's eyes, prompting for the eye color you want, and then of course you can change that eye color pretty easily and effectively. And this doesn't just stop there, you can also do things such as selecting lips and change lipstick color. That's pretty easy and straightforward to do also, and works pretty well. But if you switch to retexture, you can take any photo of any face or any portrait, add a different prompt to describe what it is you want to transform that into, and you can use that as a base for creating images laid out in a similar fashion. Also, if I select certain blemishes of skin on an image, I prompt for a face with clean, smooth skin, submit my edit, and I can use Midjourney's AI to very convincingly remove skin blemishes and replace it with a very realistic skin texture. You can also bring in buildings and objects, and if you remove the space around and beneath them for the reflection, you can also then click to the top layer, remove some of the object itself, and you can submerge certain things into water that already exists, and it does a pretty convincing job of adding that reflection underneath. Also, if you drag and drop a small image in, like this artwork I made a few years ago, this is 800 by 450 pixels. If I take the erase tool and just remove a small portion of it, what I can do is generate a prompt, submit the edit. It will generate something in that small spot I created, which means we can now go to Upscale to Gallery. And I've been able to use Midjourney to upscale that image. So this took my original image, which is 800 by 450 pixels. And if I zoom in, we can see the details have increased as the image is now 2912 by 1632 pixels. So it's resized it to the size of an upscaled AI art image. This works particularly well with photos of people's faces and other more organic elements. I mentioned earlier you can restyle your images. So not only can we use retexture like mentioned before and use that as a reference and simply prompt for a restyled image, which can get us some pretty interesting images when you experiment with your prompt. We can also go back to our original. I can then drag an image in to use as a style reference, like this skull image I created about 20 years ago. And I can now switch to retexture, use my style reference, I type in a prompt, something that I feel matches the style, works pretty well. I submit retexture and get these funky looking versions of myself based on the image I uploaded as a style reference. Another thing I can do is just simply put a man as the prompt, remove the style reference, and come up to personalize. I can turn my personalization on and simply use my global profile for one and get these creepy looking versions of myself using my personalization profile, which goes to show the type of images I like. But I can also come down and choose some of my mood boards, such as Giga-esque dystopia, and it's really applied that HR Giga sort of biomechanical style to that image of me. And I think these images are really, really cool. And that's how easy it is to use mood boards to transform your images. So I tried also a few others, such as my Gustav-esque black and white mood board, which I think turned out pretty good. But then I also went on and tried my Ghost in the Shell 93, which added a nice anime, almost cyberpunk style to my images with a similar look to the movie. Also Vaporwave, my Vaporwave mood board adds that color in there pretty strongly, and similar to that is my Glitch-esque mood board, which also got this very, very interesting effect. But finally, I tried old film, dust and scratch, and got some different and unique images as well. All these mood boards can be found on my Instagram, and there's a link to my Instagram profile in the description below. And if I wanted to crop this image of the Terminator here, I head down to the editor. If I simply drag the handles in and submit with the same prompt, I get an error. And I get the same error in the full advanced editor as well. So instead of using this, what I can do is close the editor, download my image. I then go to Google and search for the Adobe Image Cropper, and you'll see here free image cropper. I drag the image in here. I then crop in the Adobe Image Cropper by dragging the handles into place and then downloading. But now when I come back to Midjourney, I can now head over to the editor, upload my cropped image, and perform the same upscaling trick as before by removing a portion of the image, typing in a prompt, submitting the edit, and once you've generated your edit, you can now upscale to gallery, and now you've effectively been able to crop and resize the cropped area of the image to squeeze a little bit more detail out of your Midjourney generations. And again, we'll zoom in to check out the detail, and you can see how well Midjourney has upscaled this image, and we've actually managed to crop it using an external tool. This means we can squeeze a little bit more resolution out of the area we're looking to upscale in particular. You can also surround objects with water and create like a cool flooded effect pretty effectively, and it does a pretty good job with the reflections and making it look pretty believable. I can also just simply remove borders and distractions from images by prompting for what I would like to see instead of that border. This is really good if you've got things like pencils or classical borders on images you just simply want to get rid of. If you have some AI generated text which doesn't look the way it should, then one thing you can do is actually just select the text you want to repair, type up the top here, keeping in mind it usually works better if you put the entire load of text in there, submit the edit. And in this particular example, we were able to fix the text perfectly on the first try. However, this may take a few attempts and you may need to fix this letter by letter to get the best results. You can also take a sunny image like this, head into retexture and change the weather to something like a violent storm, and then describe the scene, a meadow in nature, submit. And I've got a very similar scene with a few different options for a violent storm. One of my favorite things to do is to generate an image using Midjourney and then use the editor to compose a start frame for an AI video. So this means I can take a bit more control over where things are laid out, where they are, and add certain items into the scene. But I can then further alter that start frame and move things around to create an end frame that I can also upload into an AI video platform, so I can create both a start and an end frame from the same image. I then drop my first image in as a start frame in my video, and I'm actually using OpenArt video tools, which includes Kling and VO and a few others, but I've taken my first image, I go to my end frame, add in the second image, and you'll notice how we have the warrior close up and we also zoom out, pan up, and he's closer to the building. So now I can type in a prompt like, a warrior runs into a temple that is engulfed in flames and fire, cinematic scene. I'm gonna bring the creativity to about here, 5 seconds, hit create, and then we were able to generate this video with our start and end frame. So your imagination really is the limit when it comes to this editor. The fact you can now upload external images and use a really basic layer system is still not quite as in depth as Photoshop, but considering it's Midjourney's AI engine attached to an editor, this is really an exciting tool to play with and it can be a lot of fun, especially when you really let your imagination go. So that is the video for today, guys. I hope you found it interesting, and if you did, please consider giving it a like. Otherwise, I hope to see you again next time. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.